Move over Jackie Chan in The Spy Next Door, and move over Vin Diesel in The Pacifier. Here comes Dave Bautista in My Spy.
That's right. A hardened CIA operative finds himself at the mercy of a precarious 9-year-old girl, having been sent undercover to surveil the family.
That's right. This PG-13 action comedy adventure was done by Peter Segal, and it stars Dave Bautista, Kristen Shaw, Parisa Fitzhenley, and Chloe Coleman as Sophie.
Yeah, that's right.
That is... it came out in April of 2020, made about $6.5 million total in its theatrical run. It had a budget of around $18 million, did not do so well. It was done by Amazon Studios, so on June 26th, Amazon Studios decided to throw it up on Amazon Prime, where you can watch it now, today. We have watched it, and now we're going to give some overall thoughts and go into a little bit of a review. Joey, what are your overall thoughts on My Spy?
Well, I was looking at some reviews, and one of the reviews says that it's not very creative, but funny. I would have to say that, yeah, I think it did have its funny moments in there. I enjoyed aspects of it. It was a little bit of a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
The way that it was put together as far as the story goes. But what are your thoughts?
I think overall, I thought it was a decent movie, better than what I expected. I liked the cast, and I don't blame them for anything in this movie. I think what I have to mainly blame it on is, one, the editing, and two, the screenplay. I think it was a lot of jumbled up. It was very clunky in some areas. It was very predictable, and I don't think it's okay to be predictable because we're just remaking everything else nowadays. But I think what really is the execution. Like, the execution of it just wasn't hitting on the certain level. And I think that's what really kind of not, like, made me like it more than I did. I think it's very middle of the road. I think it was just all right. Nothing remarkable, but nothing, like, terrible. I've seen way worse movies nowadays than My Spy on Amazon Prime.
Okay, so do you want to elaborate more on what you liked about it, or start off with what we didn't like?
I think we should start off on the high note.
Okay.
And I think what I did like about the movie was, one, I think I really did like the cast. Like I said, I think Sophie, the girl who played Sophie, was great. I think Dave Bautista did all that he could. Kristen Shaw, I love her so much. I wish there was more of her in the actual movie. And I liked the idea behind this movie, as we've seen this kind of concept over and over and over again. It's just the execution and the script writing and some of the dialogue, it just was not hitting very well. But overall, I thought it was good. Those are the main things that I can point out. I don't think I can go into detail of what I really, really enjoyed about this movie. Just for, if you go down to the minutia of it, I just think it kind of falls apart too much. So I'm trying to talk in bigger forms in the overall picture of what I like. Because once you start taking a magnifying, it kind of just is like not balancing out well. But what about you? What some of the stuff you like? Yeah,
I mean, this is a movie where if you're watching it just for just to have something to watch, just to be entertained, I thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed the movie. It made me laugh throughout. There were times that the movie made me stop and go, oh yeah, we are supposed to be thinking about that character. Oh yeah, that is happening.
Yeah. There is an uncle that's in here.
Right. Yeah. But no, I like the way Dave Bautista and Chloe interacted. I like their characters together was really well done. One of my favorite scenes, or one scenes that I liked, I will say, is when she discovered them spying on the house after they set up all the cameras, and she finds the camera in the dog toy, and they're like, oh, there's no way she'll be able to tell.
Yeah, right.
And she opens it up and then puts in the serial number and finds them. That was clever.
Right.
So it did have things in there like that I liked, and that was funny. So.
Yeah, definitely. I think now we should move into some of the parts that we didn't like. And I'll let you take the first part on this one, Joey.
Okay. Like I was saying in the beginning, it was a little bit of a roller coaster in the way things were edited together and put together throughout the film. So you got Dave Bautista, who made a mistake at the beginning where he basically killed everyone, and except for one dude, but he was supposed to like basically get in there, shake him down for the CIA and get information. That didn't happen, so that led to him being demoted to his surveillance patrol that he's working on with his partner Bobby. But you also get 2 other agents that were sent out to go after the uncle, which you lose track of them and you don't even see them throughout the entire movie. And then you kind of lose track. For me, it was a little confusing on where the uncle was at some points, unless they put the titles down there of where he's at. Because I thought he was closer in location to where the family was the entire time, and then come to find out he's like in a different country,
way far away,
super far away. And then you really don't see him at all in the movie, except for like maybe a little in the beginning and then at the end. So
definitely could have used some fixing up here and there. It feels though that again, the story is very clunky. At one point we have them at the best friend day, and there's a montage there. Then there's like 10 minutes of like them doing other stuff, and then there's another montage of him like teaching her spy stuff. And I was like, okay, those 2 montages are like back to back. I think the studio was like, you know what, we really want to see these 2 characters like interact more with each other, as they're supposed to be like the poster people of this movie, which it just felt forced a little bit. And then we move further into the movie, and it's like, okay, she learns all this spy stuff. You think that it's going to pay off with all the stuff that she's doing. Nothing really pays off with it. And then the one thing that she could take away from it, which was not look back at the explosion, and at the end she looks back at the explosion, and you're like, no, let her learn something. It's like,
I don't know, I found that part a little funny.
It's a little funny
because she's a kid, and
it's a little funny.
She's gonna look back.
Come on,
she had her chance, but she was a kid.
Come on.
But no, I think the whole thing was like they were trying to get that love interest started between Dave Bautista's character and the mother, and they were trying to run all those different montages you were saying together to show that he's spending a lot of time with the daughter, so he must be falling in love with the mother, and like trying to mix all that together. It was just a little clunky.
It was very clunky. I think I would have much rather them, instead of doing all that, have the girl videotape them, and then later on he has to keep doing these things until Kristen Shaw can hack in, because she's a major CIA agent, intern, tech person, that she can do her computer skills, go into her cloud and snatch the video, destroy it, and then have her be like, oh, well, you don't have to hang out with her anymore. I took the video away. I deleted it. And then Dave Bautista is like coming to terms where he's like, I kind of just want to hang out with her and be around this family, even though I don't have to anymore. That wasn't really established at all, so it just seemed like it was kept on like a force to be pushing against. There's a lot of people in this movie that they just kind of drop in, and then they just, like, the neighbors were a thing in the movie, and okay, Kristen Shaw was kind of in it, but you don't see her for a good chunks at a time, because I think she was mainly in the script in the beginning, and then as the movie progressed, they were like, well, we need to have the little girl in it. Kristen Shaw kind of gets lost in the shuffle. We don't need her in there as much. And it's like, is she just staying in the apartment the whole time? Also, I just remembered this part.
All right.
This part really didn't make me understand. Okay, so she's down the hall from this family.
Yeah.
And she has all these computer screens where she can see exactly where there are in any room, hear anything. Yet when he goes to have another dinner date with them, or when he goes to help the girl out while the mom's still working at the hospital, and then she comes back after her shift and they're cooking dinner and stuff, Kristen Shaw is then seen across the street in a different building using a telescope to peer into the apartment, and I'm like sitting there going like, I had to pause the movie and go, why is she doing that? Why? I guess the whole reason was to be like, oh, is that the uncle spying on them? And then it pulls out to show that Kristen Shaw is doing it. And I'm going,
I remember that.
And I'm going, why would she need to do that? So what you're saying is she grabbed a giant telescope, put on an all like Mission Impossible outfit, and goes, I'm going to leave this apartment building where I have all my stuff, all the cameras that I would ever need. I have everything I can surveil them with. I'm going to walk across the street, set up in a random floor, and then I'm going to watch them from there.
Maybe she's practicing her spy stuff.
Like, what is that? No, don't try to do that. I am so upset right now.
No. Calm down. Well, okay. Another thing that is kind of upsetting. So potential spoiler alerts just going forward. Well, you're like,
who cares? How can you spoil this movie?
So when the uncle finally makes it to the apartment,
yes,
and you have Kristen Shaw's character packing everything up, she turns off the monitor. She's behind the monitor whenever Dave Bautista gets hit in the head, and then she's like, "Oh, did I see something?" and turned it back on. I was like, "Oh no, I better help." I didn't think she saw it. I don't know how she saw it. It might be a little thing, but I mean, I don't know how she saw that.
No, it's fine. I mean, I'm all into again, this is like a kid's movie, but it was PG-13 with a 9-year-old in it. It was a weird situation where they rated it too heavy than it should have been, because the people that could go see this movie are allowed to go see it, like 13 years and higher, didn't want to see this movie because of how young the child was in the movie. And then the people that may have wanted to go see it was like probably like, oh, this is PG-13, we can't send the kids to go see it. And it's PG-13 because of violence, language, and action. So yeah, it was very clunky. Some of the jokes did not hit, some of the jokes did hit. But it was just really, to me, it's very middle of the road. But if I had to say like a rating, which we will get to now, I would have to give it like below 50%. Like it's probably gonna be like a 40%, whatever the scale is. If we're doing 100%, it's like 40. I'd give it a 4 out of 10.
A 4 out of 10. Okay.
2 out of 5. Whatever we're doing the ratios of.
Okay.
What would you rate this one, Joe?
I don't know if we're going out of 5. Make it easy.
Yeah,
I'll do 2.5. I thought it was. I thought it was a fun movie, as far as just a movie to put on and to kind of be entertained. If you're tracking with this movie really hard and you're trying to make sense of everything, it's not one of those type of movies.
If you turned on My Spy for logic and reason, you're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, I think it had some.
If you're gonna turn it on and barely pay attention, this is the movie for you.
Exactly. It had some a good moral story to it.
Definitely.
The ending was good. I didn't mind her turning her head at the explosion at the end, even though if you're that close to a fuel truck and you throw a grenade at it, you're probably gonna get hurt.
Yes, there's gonna be at least some heat coming off of that, maybe some shrapnel. Yeah. Like he's just like, cool, let's just.
I thought they were gonna do it and then run. No, they just walk.
Yeah, no, they just walk and they're fine. Luckily.
If that grenade rolled like a little bit, one way or the other, the whole truck would be blown towards them. Anyways,
one last thing. Yes. The Special Friends Day. Dave Bautista, how is he a special agent? Because he's like, I'm a garbage man. And then he's like walking off, and then he hears kids snicker at him, and then he's like, oh, peer pressure from
little kids.
From 9-year-olds.
I'm a human garbage.
I'm a CIA agent doing CIA stuff and top secret stuff. I'm like, bro, your cover has been blown. And because of little kids snickering at you that you might be unemployed.
Yeah, but it wasn't just that. It was how the girl was being treated throughout the whole movie. He saw the look on her face.
So I'm going to blow my cover.
I'm going to blow my cover and all this stuff.
He doesn't know who's in that classroom.
The whole CIA agent operative thing that he was going for, he blew it at the beginning of the movie. So they were not taking this position seriously. For his character not taking it too seriously, so he
again, if you're gonna turn on this movie and do something else or not really pay attention too hard, go watch it. It's a good hour and 50. Is it? That one's like 2 hours long. It's like 2 hours long.
Pretty close, I think. What do we got here?
But
I have it pulled up.
It's not my favorite
99 minutes.
Oh, wow. It felt like way longer than that. But it wasn't my favorite movie. But I would say go check it out if you're kind of like exhausted everything else. Maybe if you've already watched Magic Camp on Disney Plus, go check out My Spy.
Maybe. Better than Artemis Fowl?
Oh, way better than Artemis Fowl. I'd watch My Spy 4 times before I would watch Artemis Fowl one more time.
There you go. There's a recommendation for you. So thank you so much for watching and liking and subscribing to the channel. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Go ahead and double check and see if you have. It helps us out a lot. But that's all we got in this episode. We'll see you in the next one.